Welcome back to Friar Talk, everybody. Here after a game one dub for the Padres. Um, Obviously, my voice is gone, so I'm going to talk for as long as I can here. Chase is here. Isaac's hopping on. I sound like I smoked like 10 packs of cigarettes today, but don't worry, we're still going to talk Padres baseball. Um, First things first, Michael King was absolutely on one tonight. Dominant outing by him. We get the Tatis home run in the first. That was awesome. And then you end up getting a home run late by Kyle Higashioka. Amazing first game. Offense wasn't there that much, but the good thing is, whenever the offense isn't there, whenever the offense isn't balling out, the pitching comes in and really steps up for the Padres. So it was an amazing first game for the Padres in this playoffs, and it was really fun to watch. Chase, how you feeling, dude? Because that was electric. Petco was rocking, and it also makes me really happy that you end up getting that first home series, the wild card series at Petco, because the home field advantage is big time.
Oh no, yeah, you saw it in effect. I mean, Michael King struck out. What was it 12? He struck out three in the first inning after giving up. He struck out three in the first inning. Then Arias leads off with a single. Crowd goes crazy. First pitch, Tatis sees. He sends it to the moon. I mean, and even Tatis, like you saw him, he like once he hit it, he knew it was gone. He was just fucking just yeah. They came in our house. This is our house. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This is what playoff baseball is all about. And it was the greatest thing ever. Like when he hit that, I literally jumped out of my chair. I'm like, dude, that was destroyed. And it set the tone for the rest of the game. Like Michael King striking out three guys and then Tatis hitting a home run, it set the tone. It easily set the tone for the game. And the Braves were pretty much lost the rest of the game. Like, what? It was 15 strikeouts in total, I believe, because I don't think Suarez didn't get a single strikeout. But between Michael King, Jason Adam, and Robert Suarez, they combined for 15 strikeouts. They struck out over half the time during the game. That's an insane amount of like they didn't know what was coming. They couldn't put the ball in play. Like that is exactly what you want to see out of playoff baseball.
Oh yeah, and I think one thing that we have to bring up, no matter what, everyone's talked about the Juan Soto trade all year, right? Well, tonight the Juan Soto trade looks pretty damn good for the Padres side because you get the homer from Kyle Higashioka. Right, Higgy hits a bomb in the bottom of the eighth, and Michael King carries this team. Um, Dude, that sinker,
Was
that pitch was ridiculous, ridiculous. They did not have an answer for it, and it felt like every time. I was watching the game with a couple of my friends that they're not necessarily like big baseball guys, but they're just like, dude, this guy's ridiculous when they're watching Michael King. Like it's just like he is having his way with every single batter, it felt like. So that was crazy. Also, yeah, Tatis's aura is off the charts. That's for sure. The home run, crazy as well. But it was a great first game. Obviously, still got to take care of business and everything like that. But it was good to see. It was a good start to the series. But this is a team that's hungry. This is a team that we want to see them. Not it's not just about the wild card round. It's about making a deep playoff run. It's about winning it all. Like that is where this team's mindset is at. But I think the statement of this game was massive for them. Um, that's like the biggest thing. Is like it's a statement win to start the playoffs.
yeah. I know you guys were like in our little group chat. They're like, "Oh no, Suarez." I'm like, "Guys, for the Friar faithful, let's give him some faith." And then the first hit, like literally the deep fly out, it was just, oh my god, dude, nearly shot myself there. I'm like, dude, we got it out, we're good. Still a little concerned that he didn't throw any changeups this time around, and like his last outing of the season, he was throwing his changeup. It looked good. He was spotting it. And, I thought he was going to come to this game and, do the same thing, get some whiffs. Didn't end up doing that. But when your team looks like the way they did, I mean, Michael King had an elevated velocity. You didn't let the adrenaline get to him. He was still spotting up any pitch he wanted to, any he located anything he wanted to. Jason Adams did his job, man. Suarez did his job. It looked a little sketchy at times. You know, there was a couple hard hit balls, but hey, we won the game. We closed it out. And you know what? We can use Tanner Scott tomorrow. And I think that's a big W there.
Yeah, big time. I mean, just kind of hopping into tomorrow's game, just like obviously, big win tonight. But Larry Goofball says I feel really confident with Joe next game. Not only that, but you have who is it? Who's pitching for the Braves? It already came out. I'm pretty sure it's Max Fried. I want to say that they
Yeah,
announced that it's Max Fried tomorrow.
it is
So Max Fried versus Joe Musgrove. But something else that's good about this is the difference in how well rested the Pins are. The Braves had a doubleheader yesterday. They had a whole weekend series, and then coming in, and then they pitched today. Then their starter goes like what, 1 1/3, 2 1/3, whatever it was. Bullpen has to like stay in the whole game. Padres have had 2 guys pitch an inning in the past 2 days. Like it's a lot different for the two. But that's gonna be a big thing tomorrow, especially because you got 2 good guys on the mound. Musgrove has been dealing lately. He had a couple bad outings since he came back, and honestly, in one of them, like he was just like he looked really good. It was like in a few innings in the game, and then he just like allowed like a bunch of home runs in a row. Like it just fell apart one inning. But for the most part, he's looked nasty. Like that's the thing, and that's the thing what we talked about heading in this playoff series. It's like they have, they have 4 guys that they can go to, and we just saw the first guy right now who first playoff start ever absolutely dominated. And we got Musgrove, has a lot of experience, Cease, a little bit of playoff experience, not as much. And then obviously Darvish has a ton of playoff experience as well. So you got so many guys. You brought up Tanner Scott, but also in the starting department, we have more Hone. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many arms for this team that even a night like tonight, like yeah, you scored 4 runs, but you had 2 home runs, and then you just had like a couple singles, and you got a sacrifice in. It wasn't like the bats were exploding. It wasn't like that. But this team is still able to win games when that doesn't happen, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
Absolutely. Like you're saying, no, Joe, he's had a couple rough outings, but other than that, he looks back to his typical self. Not really any kind of worries about whether or not his velocity is going to be there. His off-speed stuff is there. You know, you're kind of worried at one point, like, okay, you know, this is a second arm injury within the year. How is he going to come back? Is he going to finish off the season? Is there going to be any fatigue? Is there going to be any sort of lagging effects coming from not pitching the entire season, some rust that he's going to have to work through? He's looked great. And, you know, we saw him against the Mets not last year, but the year before. And he was phenomenal. Like everybody kind of steps it up during the postseason, except like 2 guys in that 2022 run. And No Joe was one of those guys. It's not going to be an easy game to win tomorrow. Max Fried definitely has postseason experience. He's a good pitcher. We've struggled against lefties for the most part, but I think it's going to be a really good game. We are just going to have to be a little bit more patient at the plate, not swing at everything. I think the way we win tomorrow's game is we just got to make Max Fried throw as many pitches as possible, get him out of there early, and get to that depleted bullpen. And for us, as long as Joe can go 5 or 6, we're good. Our bullpen's well rusted. We still have Motorhone, Estrada, Tanner Scott, and hell, Jason Adams can go out there again tomorrow. We have plenty of guys to pitch.
Yeah, I want to see real quick, just because obviously Max Fried is a dominant starter, but I do want to see what the Padres guys, because the MLB app always lets this like shows you it of like what the numbers are against him. Gonna have your work cut out for you, but you go into a close game. That's another thing. Like this team is supposed to be built to win close games because of the bullpen. Like they got everything going for them right now. But I think a big thing about today's game was, yeah, you didn't get a ton of run support, but you got 2 runs in the first. Like you got it right away, and you got to play with a lead, which I feel like the momentum of that is pretty impactful. Like always in baseball, I feel like that's always really impactful. But yeah, dude, I just can't say enough about Michael King's performance. That was crazy. Like he was just
It,
nasty. Like so many
like as a
strikeouts were
Brave,
just so far off the plate.
like to be a Braves fan or even like just a Braves player, that had to be demoralizing. A starting pitcher in his first postseason playoff, his first playoff appearance, goes
He had
seven
one before.
shutty.
He had one before in 2020, but he didn't start. He only pitched 2 innings.
Oh, was it? So his first playoff start, but still, first playoff start, home crowd, 7 shutty, 12 strikeouts. He just looked like he was on like that was something magical. That was there's not like words to describe how good Michael King was today. Not any words to describe his off speed. He was doing whatever he wanted with the baseball and it just swings and misses. Like when I started to see like the first pitch out of the gate was like 96 on the corner, I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? I'm like, what this is not the Michael King we're used to seeing. And then I don't think he threw a fastball that was below 96, actually 95 the rest of the night. Like he kept his velocity up all the way until the 7th inning. I'm like, okay, this is something we could get used to seeing. Like if Michael King comes out and bumps up his velocity for next year, I mean, we're looking at a potential Cy Young candidate. He had a really good year this year, and he's just capitalizing on it. And, you know, shout out Ruben Niebla. I know Michael King's talked about it, and a lot of guys, you know, always talk about how Ruben Niebla helps them bring success. Hey, that guy works his magic, man.
Yeah, so Michael King's like average fastball velo is usually 93. Today, he's pumping 96 a bunch, and like it just felt like he was feeling it. Like that was the thing. Like he comes out and like right away, like you said, that first one on the court, you're like, oh, that that thing's moving, and it is high velo, which is also crazy, just because think about how much he's pitched all year. You know, like he's pitched he pitched more than he's ever pitched before. Comes out in a playoff game, a lot of people worry about fatigue. Dude, he's pumping 96 off the jump. Like that's what you love to see. Isaac, what's up, dude? Obviously, I'm dying a little bit. How you feeling, dude?
Ooh, that game was lit, man. I mean, it was crazy, bro, because like you saw Michael King go out there, he gave up the first hit to Michael Harris, whatever. It was just a single, but dude, his pitches were moving, bro. His pitches were moving. I mean, there hasn't been a single pitcher to ever go 7 or like have 10 plus strikeouts and allow 0 guys on via the walk. No one's ever done that. Dude, there hasn't been a team to do that. It was crazy, bro. It was really a crazy, beautiful thing to see how good the Padres pitching staff was. And the thing is, like, it all came to fruition. The plan came to fruition in game 1 where, you know, AJ Preller was aggressive at the deadline for pitching. And even before the season, aggressive for pitching. The only bat he got, I believe, via trade was Arraez, and he picked up Solano and Peralta via the minor league deal. So he was really aggressive for pitching, and in game 1, the pitching is what ended up coming through for the Padres, allowing 0 runs, striking out 15-plus guys, allowing no walks. I mean, they were able to keep the ball in the yard, so it was really an impressive outing for the Padres. And, you know, I've said it before, the thing with these playoff games, man, whoever hits the long ball and takes the lead first is usually going to win the ball game. And the Padres had less hits than the Braves, but the Padres hits went out of the yard. So that was a huge game changer for the Padres. And really, you know, it got the game started when Fernando went up there and crushed, I believe it was the first or second pitch of his at bat. That was a home run in every single ballpark in America, by the way. So thing of beauty, that game. Got another one to handle against Max Fried. Joe Musgrove will be on the bump, and hopefully they take care of business tomorrow. 2 days of rest would be nice, but if not, Dylan Cease against Reynaldo Lopez after that.
Is that for sure what it would be?
Yeah, that's what the announcers were saying. Fried for the second game, Reynaldo Lopez for the third. I don't know for us if is it confirmed Cease for the third or is it Darvish?
It's Cease.
It's Cease.
Cease. I almost would prefer Darvish going out there. I don't know about you guys. Just he's been the guy. You know, he's our quote unquote ace. We had a team full of aces now, but he's got the most playoff experience. He's the veteran arm. I think I'd Darvish going out there for a game 3, but both of the guys are good. Like realistically, both of those guys are nasty.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm more in the boat of let's just take care of it tomorrow, right? Like,
yeah,
take care.
That's realistically what I want.
Yep,
Let's
take care
have
of tomorrow.
C's pitch Saturday. That's what I'd rather see. Also because then your starters, then everyone's really well rested. And you get Michael King like a week of rest till he comes back out if you win tomorrow, which I like. And then you got Cease, Darvish, Saturday, Sunday in the NLDS. But you got to take care of business. That's the thing. But that's what I'm thinking is like, this team's good enough. They should just move on. Like honestly, as we were talking about other stuff, we kind of talked about a little bit. Kind of hear what you're thinking. One, the lineup not really hitting that well, but like the team's built to win games where they don't have to do that. The bullpen looking good. Obviously, Jason Adam, he balled out too. He looked nasty. And then Robert Suarez, a little sus, not gonna lie. But also the Tatis aura is crazy. Real ridiculous for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mute, bud.
I was almost cooked.
Dude, what is going on? You're mute again.
You muted yourself again.
Am I good now? All right.
Are you?
Anyway, the way.
I think you're unplugging your mic or something.
Over there, Isaac? Jesus Christ, dude.
All right. I think it should be good now. All right.
All right, Isaac,
I have no clue what's going on. Just go ahead, talk, and let me figure this out.
All right. That was amazing. Maybe just don't hold it. That's what I think. That was great.
Yeah, maybe. That's crazy. It was kind of like the bats weren't crazy today. They were still making contact. Arias was great in the leadoff spot. I don't think there was an instance where he really hit the ball weak. He hit the ball pretty hard. It went to people a couple times, but he still was hitting the ball really hard. Manny, he had a uncomfortable at bat, or he kind of just threw the bat out. He still looked good. He was on pitches. Merrill looked good in his first postseason ever. He was on the ball. It didn't look like he was going to let the nerves get to him. Profar was all right. He's been there before. We know how he is. He's going to come around. I was surprised Higgy popped off. I mean, dude, Higgy home run was not a bingo card. That's kind of what he does, though. He usually hits for power over anything. And, hey, I'm all with it. X had a couple hard hit balls. I will say he did look relatively well at the plate. He looked comfortable. He is also one of the guys that we're going to need for him to come around in these upcoming series. He is the veteran guy. He's had playoff experience. He has World Series experience. We're going to need him to off if we really want to continue to make a deep playoff run. He made some pretty hard contact. There was an unfortunate play at second where, it was a really good scoop by Albius to end the inning. Tatis, as the announcers couldn't stop saying, it's in his DNA, man. That guy is just a playoff monster.
Dude, yeah, he's built a little bit different. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch him at the plate. And I don't know, I feel like Cronenworth also got into one, hit it pretty deep. I forgot that Higgy actually hit the sac fly too. I realized that right now. Bogarts, the one that he laced to second base, he hit that one super, super hard. It was decent contact, but it's just interesting just because I don't even take it as a bad thing. You're going to be in spots where your offense is going to put up a ton of runs. But even today, when they're not putting up a lot, they still put up 4 runs, and that's where you need the pitching. And Jason Adam came in. He looked really good. Robert Suarez, a little sus, but then he generated some weak contact at the end, which was nice. And either way, like, I mean, you shut out the Braves. The Braves have a good lineup. Braves have a really good lineup. They have a lot of power. You neutralized it. And I also think part of that is playing in Petco. Like, you played to your team's strengths. So great, great first game there. Isaac, are you back with us? Let's see.
I sure hope so. Seems like it, so we'll see.
Don't pick up the mic. See, it did it again. As soon as you picked up the mic, it messes it up. Don't pick up the mic. All right, unmute yourself. All right. Let's see if
All
this
right.
works. Don't.
I'm going to leave it there. All right, so basically what I was going to say was Fernando came up there, hit a 2-run bomb off the bat. I think it was like 114 off the bat, went 430-something feet, out in every single ballpark. Higgy, I feel like that was kind of weird, man, because I remember when the game was on and Higgy was up, they were saying the Padres have one of the lowest strikeout rates in the league. And I was like, well, if only they knew Higgy strikes out a lot, but ends up coming up with a clutch sacrifice fly to center field and then a home run to put the game out of a safe situation. If that was a safe situation, man, Tanner Scott was going to come in. I have no doubt Tanner Scott was going to come in if it was still 3-0. But Robert Suarez ends up coming in, gave up a hit, damn near gave up a home run. That I shat myself when I saw that ball go off of, I believe, I think it was Matt Olson that hit that. So I was very scared when that ball came off Matt Olson's bat. But man, dude, back to Michael King, bro. 7 innings pitched, 7 innings shutty. What was it, like 12 strikeouts, no walks. There were pitches that started middle, and ended at the other. It ended in the lefty's batter's box. That would have hit a lefty's knee, and he had guys swinging. It's just that, in playoffs, man, when the adrenaline takes over, you got guys like Michael King throwing frisbees out there and having his fastball or his sinker up 2 miles an hour. It's like a guy like that who was already one of the most unhittable pitchers in the MLB is going to go up there and do that. He's just becomes that much more unhittable. Now, looking at tomorrow, what was a little unfortunate about this game is that the Braves got to their bullpen early, and the Padres weren't able to capitalize on that. The first lefty that came out ended up going, I believe it was 2 or 3 innings. Chavez goes 2 or 3 also. I was hoping they would get to those guys so that way they would have to use more arms. Now they're going to have Fried. I think Chavez will probably be available again tomorrow. He's going to have to be. Iglesias is available tomorrow. Lee's available tomorrow. And then Jimenez is available tomorrow. So quite a few of their guys are going to be available tomorrow. And that's a little unfortunate. But at the same time, it's playoff baseball, man. You got to be ready to play some of the best arms in the league, some of the best arms in their bullpen no matter the play. So it was a lot of fun. That game was a lot of fun in particular. That playoff atmosphere was freaking crazy. I don't think you're going to see a playoff atmosphere like you're going to see at Petco Park, man. I mean, Matt, I think I talked about it recently, or maybe I talked about it with one of my coworkers, but I was like, I remember that Padres-Dodgers series in the NLDS. Dodger fans kind of expected the Dodgers to just beat us, so they didn't show up to the games. And that's the kind of thing that happens not across the league, man. I mean, there's some great fans, but I don't think there's fans like Padre fans who they were selling out games against the White Sox. They were no doubt going to sell out games against the Braves in a wild card series. So a lot of fun. Yeah, man, there's a lot to say that was great about that game, but primary things handling business tomorrow against Max Fried. So looking forward to that. I know the Padres don't hit lefties very well, but the task at hand is a lefty, so you have no choice but to hit him well.
Yeah. You said it best. I mean, playoff baseball, you're going to see some funky stuff. I mean, a lot of guys are going to come off no rest. A lot of guys are going to come off short rest. I mean, I think the best example of kind of wonky baseball is look at Madison Bumgarner. Was in the 2014 World Series. Came off 3 days of rest, pitched 2 shutout innings to close out the World Series. The guy was pitching like every other day. And in order to win games, hey, sometimes that's what you got to do. And especially for the Braves right now, it's do or die. We're going to see a lot of guys come on no rest, short rest. and they're going to be playing their best guys.
Yeah, especially because like for them, it's like backs against the wall. You got a lot of these relievers like ready to go, and you got your guy on the bump. So you definitely got your work cut out for you. But I mean, like you guys are saying, it's like you just got to take care of business. With Max Fried, yeah, the Padres do struggle to hit against lefties, but there's two guys that are red hot right now that hit lefties pretty good, and Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado. So you're gonna need your captains, you're gonna need your stars to really step up. And you got Joe sorry. And you got Joe Musgrove on the bump too. So it's like I think tomorrow's recipe is like you have your guys, like your high end players, your superstars, your leaders, your captains. Like those are the guys that need to go out there and win the game. It's probably gonna be low scoring. That's what I guess. It's gonna be low scoring. It's gonna be probably a pitcher's duel, kind of like tonight. I mean, I know the Braves they pulled their starter super early, but like the bullpen came in and pitched good. 4-0 is pretty close. But yeah, I'm going to take off, guys. As you can see, not doing too well in the whole talking department. So I'll let you guys finish it up. But go Padres. That was an amazing first playoff win. And I thought it was fantastic. Also, this is very interesting. Real quick. Max Fried won against the Padres this year. 4 1/3, 9 hits, 3 runs. Give me that tomorrow. Give me a repeat of that.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy. But yeah, I'm at bounce, guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. See ya.
Well, Matt's gone.
All right,
So yeah, man. I mean, go whatever. I don't know what you were to say, Chase. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna let you missed parts of the conversation, so speak your mind, speak your opinion.
Yeah, man. I mean,
As long as you don't grab that mic.
Yeah, I'm not grabbing it. There's no way. Yeah, man. I mean, you go throughout the lineup. You kind of had a good feeling about the game when Luis Arias started off with a single the opposite way. That was also a good at bat, 6-7 pitch at bat. Smith Shawver, a really young pitcher, 21, 22 years old, I believe, younger than us. It's just, and in a place like Petco Park, man, a 21 or a 22-year-old making his first postseason start, I was honestly shocked. I could not believe it. I was like, poor kid, like at that point, you don't blame the kid for going out there and doing what he did. It's just the Braves are in a bad situation. They were in a bad situation where, they didn't have an arm to throw in game one. And they ended up having to throw Smith Shawver. And I know after the game, someone asked Snicker about Ian Anderson. Well, Ian Anderson hadn't pitched in a year and a half, 2 years in the MLB. So it was they weren't in a great situation. They were hoping that Smith Shawver could go 4 1/3. Nonetheless, didn't go 4 1/3, but really the game was maybe not decided, but it got off to a hot start, and it was definitely in the Padres' favor up until Smith Shawver came out of the game. So, like I said, it was a little disappointing seeing the Padres not be able to capitalize on the bullpen coming in. I believe it was in the third. That was a little bit of a letdown, but other than that, man, you can't be upset with a win. I'm definitely not upset with how that game went. Pitching was fantastic. Defense was fantastic. But, tomorrow Tanner Scott's available, Morejon's available, Estrada's available. So we got a few of our top arms up there ready, and I'm excited to see how some of these guys fare, man. I mean, we haven't seen Morejon in the postseason, I think, since 2020, right, Chase? I don't think we've seen him ever since.
Yeah, because 2022 he had Tommy John, I believe.
Right. Yeah, he didn't pitch in 2022. Yeah, and then go ahead.
Yeah.
And then Estrada hasn't been to the postseason. Tanner Scott, I know he was in the postseason last year, but pretty sure they got swept by the Phillies. And then, so yeah, man, I mean, a few of these guys are going to be really in their first high leverage situation in the postseason. Hopefully it's a high leverage situation. Excited to see how they fare. The playoffs are a different game. And tomorrow it's going to be a game of, let's see who can score more runs against the starters, because Fried has under a 2.5 ERA over his last 7 starts. And Chase, I don't know what Musgrove's numbers are over his last 7 starts, but I believe it's around the same as Fried, with like around a 2.5. So man, it's yeah, thank you. It's two of the best. It's two of our best guys. They're arguably, obviously not this year, but Max Fried has been at the top of their rotation for years. and he's been talked about as one of the best pitchers for years. Same thing with Joe Musgrove. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see. It's a great pitching matchup. I'm excited for sure. Chase is pulling up the Joe Musgrove numbers. So it's like the same thing. 2.36 and a 2.38, you said?
Yeah.
Dude. Tune in tomorrow. Even if there's no Padre fans, man. I mean, everyone should be tuning into a game like that.
Dude, that's gonna be a pitching battle.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
My one main concern is like, yeah, they have a lot of good hitters. As long as we can shut down Olsen, I'm okay. If we get beat by like Albius or Michael Harris, I'm okay with that because Matt Olson didn't beat us. As long as we shut down their best hitter, their guy that's hitting cleanup, the guy that led the MLB in home runs last year, I think we're gonna be okay. Other than that, they got a good lineup. Every time Matt Olson comes up to the plate, he has the ability to clear the bases. He's their best hitter right now. He's terrifying.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was a fun game, man. Obviously, the lineup, they put up 3 in the first 2 innings, and you would have liked to see more out of the lineup in the last 6. But as long as they came out with a W, that's all that mattered. So tomorrow, hopefully they don't take their foot off the gas. I felt like a lot of their at bats after Smith-Shawver came out were under 6 pitches. They were getting out early. They weren't seeing a lot of pitches. And I mean, on both sides, you could say that because the game time was I think it was like one of the shortest postseason games ever. So on both sides, not taking a lot of pitches, just really quick at bats, a really quick game. So that goes for the Padres as well, man. After they struck with Tatis, they had a sacrifice fly by Higgy and a home run by Higgy, and that's all you needed, man. Situational hitting is the most important thing when it comes to these games. So when Higgy comes up and brings in Cronenworth, that sets the tone for the rest of the game because it's deflating, man, when there's 1 or 2 outs and runner on third and the guy scores and you're already down 3-0 early. That's the type of pressure you want to put on the other team. The pressure where they're down early and they're saying, dang, we got an uphill battle to climb against a guy that's been one of the best pitchers in baseball throughout the past 3-4 months. That's the kind of battle you want to give the other team. So hopefully tomorrow, Musgrove can go 6, and then you can go Morhone, Estrada, Scott, whatever you want to do. But yeah, we're hoping from 6 from Musgrove tomorrow.
I'm good with 5. As we can get 5 out of Musgrove and it's shut down, that's fine with me. 6 would be fantastic, but at least a minimum of 5. Because we still got all our bullpen left, basically. Jason Adams can go out there again. You'll get a ton of rest before the Dodgers series. I mean, like you said, it's all hands on deck. Playoff baseball, you're going to go out there no rest. You're going to go out there short rest. You just got to be able to sneak out a W at the end of the day. And these Braves, they got the back against the wall. And you know what? Sometimes when teams get their back against the wall, it's when they play the best. So it's going to be a tough game tomorrow. No matter what, they're going to have to go out there, and I hate to say it, don't want to sound like Trey Stingler, but they got a battle.
Yeah.
They legitimately got to go out there and set the tone from the beginning they did last time, like they did today. They got to set the tone early.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's the most important thing, man. Setting the tone early, putting the pressure on the other team, especially at home where, you're in front of one of the most electric crowds in all of baseball. Just put the pressure on the Braves, man. I mean, they were realistically, they were the ones coming off a doubleheader. They were the ones that had to fly from Atlanta to San Diego. The other one's short on pitching. They had enough pressure coming in. The more you put on them, the harder the battle or the harder the climb will be for them. And I talked about this with Matt yesterday, man. That's one of the most, prized franchises in the sport. Won a World Series in 2021, 6 straight postseason appearances. They're just a lot of fun to watch, man. They're a great team, healthy. Obviously, they're an amazing team. They're not healthy right now, but they were still able to get in. So it's impressive that they were able to get here. Nonetheless, the Padres should know that even though there are injuries on that side, and even though off a doubleheader, they still have to handle business. That they know that, and Don't get me wrong, bro. I'm going to be so honest. When I saw the Mets put up 8 runs in Milwaukee, I was like, there's no fucking way, coming off a doubleheader yesterday and flying to Milwaukee overnight. I don't think it's that. I don't know how far it is, but they put up. It's not that far, right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They end up putting up 8 runs
Braves
against the
had it
Brewers.
much worse.
Yes, Braves had to go much further. And the funny thing is that, the Mets, dude, they're freaking hot right now, bro. They look like that team that just got hot to get into the postseason.
And on this side of the bracket, we over here. They're going to cool off at one point.
Yeah, at one point, hopefully they cool off, man. So
they got the Phillies.
Yeah, they got the Phillies. That's true, and that's a rivalry. That's cool, man. How it could end up being a rivalry matchup on both sides. So, yeah, man. I mean, what are you thinking about the game tomorrow? What's like the number one thing you think they got to do?
Yeah. All I know is, man, if or when we win this series, we can't lose again. That's like my thing.
Yeah.
Like I can't watch them go to the NLCS and get walked off again.
Oh my god.
I can't do it, dude.
No, yeah.
If we win this series, we can't lose again.
No, yeah.
I mean, obviously we can lose a game, but we can't lose
another series.
We can't get knocked out the playoffs. We can't get knocked out the playoffs again. I can't do it. No.
I can't either, man. I can't either. That was I remember how sad we were when we had to do the post-season wrap up. I remember how sad I was the day they lost to the Phillies. And I want to be honest, bro, today, not the whole day, but at game time, bro, I was a wreck. I couldn't stop shaking my leg. I was so anxious. My heart was pounding. That's a cool thing about
too until the Tatis home run.
Oh yeah. And then that kind of got the jitters off. That was one of the best introductions to postseason baseball for a player he's been there before. Like, I mean, sure, extended regular season, whatever you want to call it. This is his first real postseason. That was one of the best introductions to a postseason I have ever seen.
Like the announcers kept saying, it's in his DNA.
Yep.
I swear to God, somebody needs to make a DNA like edit with Tatis, and the announcer's just going, yeah, dude, this kid's just different. It's in his DNA. And then edit. I just gave one of y'all a video idea. Go out and do with it what you will.
Yeah, man, that guy has that clutch gene, that everything, the swagger, the aura, whatever you want to call it. Oh,
I want to see Merrill into it, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, he had a hit today, and I thought that was going to lead to something big. It didn't. But he's going to have his moment, bro. He had so many regular season moments. It's hard to not see him having a postseason moment. Same thing with Manny. Yeah. I think Manny will have a postseason moment too. God damn it. I thought Xander on his birthday was going to have a postseason moment. Why did I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. The guy went over.
He didn't look bad.
He didn't look bad. I mean, I think he made hard contact on 2 of his at-bats.
It just went to people.
Yeah, those could have very well ended up being singles if they were, another feet or two to one direction. But
singles, but they were still hit hard.
Yeah, exactly. So
we really were out it. We can't just be on singles.
No, I know. I mean, as long as the slugging is up, as long as they're hitting bombs, and I mean, it's not going to happen every game, but as long as they're getting on.
At least give me doubles. Like, I don't. Yeah, home runs are great, but they're inconsistent. As long as we're hitting the gaps, I'm cool.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, that's the thing is like the singles, they get guys on, but doubles do damage. Extra base hits do damage, man. Singles, yeah, they get guys on. The point is get guys on, get guys over, get them in. Yeah, I understand that whole thing. Petco Park hitting, I understand that whole gist of things where you're not, it's hard to hit it out of that ballpark. And I understand their philosophy right now, but going up against a team that has sluggers in their What the hell? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My freaking computer shut down. Going up against guys that have nothing but like they have sluggers at the top of their lineup with Ozuna, Olsen, Soler, even Albies. You got to be able to go tit for tat with them when it comes to slugging. So that's going to be a main key tomorrow, man. I mean, getting to Max Fried early. Max Fried has pitched, I think, I don't know how many games in the postseason, but he has over a 4 ERA in the postseason. So let's keep that same those same numbers for him going tomorrow, and let's go win the damn series. Let's go to LA, man.
Let's get out of this early. I really don't want the stress of a game 3. I can't do this, dude.
Not again, bro. Not again, bro.
I love elimination games. They're some of the best games to watch, but they're so stressful. They're so damn stressful.
They're not even like they're not stressful at game. They're stressful fucking all day. All day.
Yeah.
Right after the game,
From the
it's
first out to the last out is nothing but stress.
It's nothing but every pitch, bro. Those elimination games, I'll never forget that Mets series where we had to go to game 3 in New York. That whole day, I was just, oh my God, dude. I was a wreck. But they pulled it out, and that's what you hope to see this series. Shoot, I really got nothing else to say, man. I mean, great outing from King. Clutch hitting by Higgy and Toddy. We'll see who the heroes are tomorrow, man. Hopefully we have some heroes to talk about tomorrow. And if I were to put my money on anyone, it's going to be Manny. I think Manny will have a huge game tomorrow. That's my bet.
Yeah, I can see Manny, Profar, and maybe X joining in at the end for some fun. But like our 3 lefty hitters are really X or Tati, Manny, and Profar.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because I mean, 100%, bro. Because Crony, Jake, or not Crony and Jake. Crony,
Rise, pretty.
Huh?
Merrill hits lefties pretty well.
Yeah, he hits pretty. Yeah, exactly. He hits lefties pretty well. Arise and Jake struggle a little bit. So I mean, really, it's only 2 guys, but Jake's clutch in the postseason. He'll have his moment. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. Chase, if you got anything else to say, go ahead.
I'm out.
Nice. All right, man. Well, I'm actually going to go play MLB The Show. I'm going to go play more baseball. So I'm sure, we'll try getting to you guys tomorrow. We'll try talking to you guys after the game tomorrow. Hopefully it's one of those good streams to end the NL wild card series for the Padres, and we can look ahead to Saturday. But talk to you guys later, man. Have a great night.